Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Look It Up Podcast. I'm Chip Homer, and this is Tony Gudo and my pawpaw. You can find us on YouTube under the Look It Up Podcast and Facebook under his name, Tony Gudo.
Yep. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you share. Let people know we're out here. If they want a 30-minute recap every week of what's going on in sports, that's what we do.
Yep.
We do a 20 to 30-minute recap on basketball, baseball, NFL. We're looking at the NFL draft in the future, what's going on with the Saints. We do everything, but we do it like in a 20 or 30-minute period, so people who don't have time to keep up, this gives you like a refresher of what happened in the past 7 days. So we do it every Wednesday for 20 to 30 minutes. To start with, let's talk about the Final Four. What happened? Well, there was a couple upsets in the Final Four.
Couple of upsets. Speaking of, Duke
blew it.
Duke blew it again.
Duke blew it. I tell you what, they were my Final Four. They were supposed to win everything for me on my bracket.
Yeah.
I still have two teams there. I still have Arizona and Michigan. I said they'd both.
They're playing each other in the Final Four.
Yeah, they're playing the first match. So, anyway, I thought Duke was going to win. I thought they should have won. They gave the game away at the end, and then there's been some people upset lately about the last shot. They're saying the clock had ran out, and maybe that's some kind of issue going on there. But
There was still time on the clock when the ball went through.
which you can't tell. I mean, it's they talk about all this stuff. When you lose, you lose. Just go and just forget it, right? So the matchup this week, the first game is Illinois. Illinois is a 1.5 point favorite over UConn. They are number 3 seed. UConn's a number 2 seed.
But UConn's been playing.
Yeah, I think UConn wins that game. But Illinois has been a surprise team to me. They've come out of nowhere and they've been winning and beating everybody they put in front of them. So should be a good game. Following that game, it'd be Michigan minus 1.5 over Arizona. I still think Arizona is the better team here. They're both 1 seeds. So 2 1 seeds playing and a 2 and a 3 seed playing. If I had to wager on this game, I would take both dogs. I would take UConn and Arizona. Of course, the point spread will probably change quite a bit between now and Saturday, so we'll see. And of course, the championship will be on Monday night. The winner of these 2 games play each other Monday night for the NCAA basketball championship, men's championship. Let's talk about the women real quick. You want to cover that?
Yeah, let's go to the women. So, in the Elite Eight, our LSU Tigers
Last shot
lost to a buzzer beater to Duke. Now, we were a little heartbroken. Flau'jae Johnson had played her last game in LSU uniform. It sucks. It really does suck. So, Duke moved on, but then they lost in the Elite Eight to UCLA. UCLA plays Texas in the Final Four. Texas obliterated Michigan in the Elite Eight. 77-41. So, and then the other side of the bracket, South Carolina plays UConn. Now, I have UConn winning it all. UConn is undefeated. 36-0.
36-0.
They are pretty good.
It's probably going to be them in Texas.
Yeah, I think so too.
I like Texas. Texas got a good team. I just think Texas could probably win this thing. But if UConn's undefeated, they're good. They got the same coach, been there for a long time. He does a good job over there. And the Texas coach been doing a great job since he's been over there in Texas. So anyway, that should be some interesting games. Both of those games, the men's and the women, should be pretty interesting. We'll find out what happens. Anyway, let's move on to the NFL for a little while.
Yeah.
A few changes with the Saints. Let's talk about that. I saw a mock draft came out this week. And, of course, that mock draft's everywhere. If you go online and just put in NFL mock drafts, you'll probably get 100 of them show up. But anyway, I've just picked one out that caught my eye, which was somebody from ESPN. I'm not going to mention any names because they all change from week to day. But this guy has the Saints taking the edge, David Bailey out of Texas Tech. And his reasoning is Bailey had 23 tackles last year for a loss. 23 tackles for loss and 14 and a half sacks for Texas Tech. Bailey's an unstoppable thanks to his first step speed. He's real quick, his first step, and his relentless pursuit skills. You know, something I heard about him, and it makes a lot of sense. I've been hearing people talk about this, that a lot of people, what they do is when they're looking at these players, they wait and they look at the fourth quarter of a game and see what they look like in the fourth quarter, whether they're winning or they're losing. Let's say they're winning in the fourth quarter. What are these players doing throughout that fourth quarter? Are they hanging around? Or they're playing football? Are they still playing? Are they still focused on the game? And those kind of things help people decide, do I want to bring this guy into our organization? Is he going to be a slacker where he takes plays off quite a bit? This guy does not, for what I understand. He's relentless in his skills. He goes after people. And of course, we have Cam Jordan, still a free agent. Nobody signed him yet, so he may still be leaving. We're not sure. We still have Chase Young and Carl Granderson on the depth chart. But Bailey's burst is the best in class and will be ideal for Brandon Staley's defense. So more than likely, he's going to be the guy. Either him or probably a receiver. I'm still thinking about getting a receiver. And if Jeremiah Love there, I still think if he's there, we take him. You got to take him, right? You got to take him. And the rumor is Kamara's still going to be here. Kellen Moore spoke yesterday, mentioned it real quickly, but more than likely, he's going to use both of them. But I think what the Saints want, they want to reduce his salary. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I guess we'll know more between now and the draft. Of what's happening there. The second guy they haven't taken out, they have Saints taking the number 42.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Zachariah Branch. He is a receiver from Georgia. Round 2. He's geared to be a second year quarterback college.
He got some speed to him.
He has big plays, and he's there to help replace Rashid Shaheed, who was traded to Dallas. Yeah, he's
to Seattle.
He's a big play guy. He's a big play guy. That's what we need, a big play guy on the offensive side of the ball. That would be a good receiver to add with Olave and the other guys that we have. And the third guy they got at number 73 is Trendon Dukes. What's his name? Trendon
Stukes.
Cornerback from Arizona. This guy has 4.33 speed in the 40. Very good. He's a hot name coming out of the community. After the combine, he did real good in the combine. He's seen as a capable quarterback or maybe a safety prospect with some elite teams because he's 4.33 speed in the 40. Very good speed. So that's the three guys they have. Beginning next week, we're going to try to do next Wednesday. Is we're going to do a mock draft between me and Shale. We're going to take like the first 16 picks, maybe 20. But we're going to take it. I'm going to take one, he'll take the second. I'll take the third, he'll take the fourth. And we're just going to go through like 16 teams. And then the following week, we'll do the same thing again with a mock draft 2.0. And we'll get some ideas of what we think is going to happen in the first half of the first round of the NFL. This week, of course, a couple of updates with the Saints real quick. Let's see, I got it. I typed something up in here. Beyond the player comeback, don't be surprised. They said the Saints add another kicker to compete with Charlie Smith. Smith's been emergent, but the team will explore additional someone to push the incumbent. Zach Wilson, as you know, was signed. They say they don't have no plans to release the guy. The plan is to re-sign Hunter Deckers, the fourth stringer, who spent last year in the developmental squad as a quarterback. And now I think he's in the UFL right now, playing in the UFL. And as soon as that wraps up, they say he'll be back at training camp with the Saints. Brian Bresee had only 2 sacks in 2025, according to recording 7.5 in 2024. But the feeling is that last year was a step forward for him in terms of the rest of his game. That could be a big difference in this coming years because I think he's going to be the fifth option on the defensive line. And he's done a good job over the years. I think last year he got better at the run defense. I think that's what they're working at, trying to get him better at run defense. London Taylor, they're working on trying to get him. Of course, right now they still have Julian Blackman, Quincy Riley, and safety Jordan Howell. Also, they have Kool-Aid McKinstry that he could kick in the inside if they need to. And quarterbacks, they're still looking at the same thing. I think pretty much, I heard today, I keep hearing this, and that could be an April Fool's thing today, but I heard that they're still looking to trade Rattler. They're looking to trade Rattler.
I think that's true.
So if they find somebody who wants him, I think they're going to let him go because we have 3 quarterbacks without him, and then if you bring Deckers in, you still got another quarterback. So it should be in pretty good shape when it comes to that. Let's talk about the NFL meetings. They had the NFL meetings started on Sunday.
Yeah.
Went Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Finished. There's nothing really big that happened. There's a couple of things in the rule changes. Really just some little things. Like in the kicking game, the team has to decide on they permit the kicking team to declare an onside kick anytime during the game. So they went back to what they used to do with one exception. You still have to declare that you're going to kick out, which I don't think makes any sense. What's the point to have it?
I'm glad they're doing it at any point in the game because I think last year they made it where you can only do it in the fourth quarter. I'm like,
but you know, who's going to do it in the second quarter? Who's going to do it? I mean, why?
the Saints.
Well, the Saints did, but that was third quarter. That was kicking off the third quarter, and that was a surprise. You can't do a surprise anymore, which takes away from the whole play. I think. I mean, the whole point to that play over the years is it was a surprise and nobody knew it was coming. Now you let them know that it's going to happen. You know, I don't see people use it a lot. Probably at
now
the end
people
of the
can
game,
prepare
sure.
for it, and what do you want? How they going
Well,
to get the ball back?
your chances of doing it is like a 1% chance of getting it to work. So it don't happen too often, especially when you can't surprise people. They also eliminated kicking's incentive to intentionally kick the ball out of bounds when you're kicking from your 50-yard line. You can't kick it out of bounds. That was something that should have been fixed before. They modified the kickoff alignment requirements. Receiving teams have to stay in a setup zone. They just kind of fixed that where nobody can be outside those zones. And for the first year, for 1 year only, just in case, remember, the officials may be going on strike. And I don't know if strike, but job, they will not show up because their contract ends at the end of May. And right now, the NFL is looking at D3 officials, Division III college football officials, to bring them in and start working them on the NFL rules and to have replacement officials in the event that nothing is settled by the time football season starts. So what they did also, the officiating department, to correct clear and obvious misses made on the field during the impact of the game. In the event that there is a work stoppage, the NFL officiating department in New York will make changes to any calls they feel that needs to be made.
Well, we hope they don't redo the Fail Mary.
No. Well, hopefully it won't.
What happened to Seattle?
But I think what they're doing here, they're correcting. They're trying to make sure they correct stuff like face masks. I mean, there was a couple of calls last year in the playoffs. People grabbed face masks and they never threw the flag. I think they're going to try to stop that. And I think in the future this is going to continue. Even when the new old officials come back, I still think they're going to start using New York more to look at those plays that people cannot, that officials miss, that are obvious to the fans, obvious to the crew that's working the game, and obvious to everybody that was a face mask, or that was offside, or that was an intentional hit, and the official missed it. They're going to try. I think they're eventually going to change that. But for right now, it's for 1 year. Especially, it's only 1 year if the officials stay out. Okay. Well, and guess what else? The draft is what? 22 days away. 22 days away from the NFL draft. I heard something today and I really laughed. I almost drove off the road. Aaron Glenn. If you know me, I'm not a fan of Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn got the job with the Jets. And when he got that job, he said, I would never go to New Orleans and coach. He aggravated a lot of people, including myself. First of all, Aaron Glenn is not that good of a head coach. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to last.
I don't think they got a single interception last year.
They won 3 games. Okay, he won 3 games, and they got rid of a lot of players, and now they revamping and they got all these picks. But the problem is coaching. I don't think they have the right coaching staff. I know he made some changes, but here's what he said. This is quote. This is what he said yesterday. Almost drove off the road when I heard it. Aaron Glenn said, Geno Smith is the quarterback now. Remember they got him? Geno Smith would take us to the promised land. That's what Aaron Glenn said. Quote, Geno Smith would take us to the promised land. Now, if you believe that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona I'm willing to sell you. because that ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. He ain't taking them to the promised land. They're gonna probably draft a quarterback. If they don't draft a quarterback this year, they definitely gonna draft one next year. That's what he said. I'm being honest, that's exactly what he said. Anyway, it was funny. The other thing, the UFL kicked off. Who watched any UFL games? I did. I watched a few of them. A couple of games I watched. I watched the Dallas team. The Dallas team, Rick Neuheisel is now the coach of the Dallas team, and they were the best team this past week. They scored 36 points against who they played. They played the Houston Gamblers, and they won 36-17. The other undefeated team, St. Louis Battlehawks, they beat the DC Defenders. Orlando beat Columbus, and I think it is Birmingham. Birmingham beat the Louisville Kings.
Birmingham.
Yep.
I think they won both seasons.
What?
Championships.
What about it?
I think they won the championship back to back.
They won it one time. It only started last year, I think.
This is the third year.
They regrouped.
This is the third year.
I think the UFL.
They're starting the third year.
You sure? Okay, might be. Anyway, this week's games, I just looked them up. DC plays on Friday night. They play the Columbus Aviators. Todd Haley is the head coach, not the head coach, the offensive coordinator with the Columbus Aviators. And the reason I mention him is I listen to him several times a week. He's on the NFL channel as a guest, and I listen to him several times a week. And he talked about getting ready for DC because they got a short week. They played on Sunday night. Now they got to play on Friday night. Saturday, the Louisville Kings go to Orlando, plays the Storm. On Sunday, there's two games. One at 5 o'clock. Birmingham Stallions play the Houston Gamblers in Houston, and the Battlehawks. That'll be a good game. The Battlehawks at 7 o'clock Tuesday. I guess they play next Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday. The Battlehawks play the Renegades. That'd be a good game. I like Renegades. Yeah, that'd be a good game. So anyway, that just brings you up to date with those teams. It just started. It's the first week, so we'll see what happens the next few weeks, how things go. NBA. Oh, last week on my picks, I went 2-1. I went 2-1 with the picks I gave y'all last week. Remember, if you make any wagers, what do? You only bet what you can afford to lose. Don't take any chances. Don't lose yourself any money. I've lost a few dollars here and there, but I'm up ahead. I'm winning money. I won money in the basketball season so far. Better than I thought. I'm going to give you 3 picks in the NBA right now. 3 picks tonight. This is tonight's games. I like the Atlanta Hawks over Orlando Magic. Atlanta Hawks over Orlando Magic. I think it's like a 4 or 5 point spread, something like that. Also, I like the Memphis Grizzlies. They play the New York Knicks. Now, Memphis is not great, but getting 14.5 points. That's a lot of points. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if the Knicks can stay and score that many more points over Memphis. So I'll take Memphis plus the 14.5. And I like the Indiana Pacers getting 5 with Chicago. I think the Pacers can hang in there with Chicago. They might can actually beat the Chicago Bulls. So anyway, that's my picks for this week. Atlanta, Memphis, and Indiana Pacers.
Yep.
That's the 3 picks I'm going to give you now. Like I said, for the Final Four, I believe UConn and Arizona. And if UConn and Arizona play each other, I still believe Arizona is going to win it all. I think Arizona will win it at the end. So we'll see what happens. How about the NBA? What you got to talk? You got anything to talk about?
Yeah, so yesterday there were 7 games played yesterday. The Magic beat the Suns. Hornets beat the Nets. Pistons beat the Raptors. Rockets beat the Knicks. Bucks beat the Mavericks. Lakers beat the Cavaliers. Trailblazers beat the Clippers. Today there is 9 games tonight. Between 6 and 9. The Hawks play the Magic, like he said. Philadelphia plays the Wizards. Celtics play the Heat.
That might be a good game, the Celtics and the Heat.
Bucks play the Rockets. Pacers play the Bulls. Knicks play the Grizzlies. Kings play the Raptors. Nuggets play the Jazz. And the Spurs play the Warriors. Now going to the standings. Here we go. The Celtics, Pistons, and Knicks all have clinched the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs.
They are officially in the playoffs.
Who is that? Celtics and who?
Pistons, Celtics, and Knicks. Now, between the Cavaliers, Hawks, Raptors, 76ers, Magic, Heat, and Hornets, they have all clinched a play-in position
So
for a chance to be in the playoff.
Yeah.
So then we go into the West. The Thunder, Spurs, and Lakers have all clinched their division and the playoffs. And the Nuggets as well have clinched the playoffs. Then the Timberwolves, Rockets, Suns, Clippers, Trailblazers, and Warriors have clinched their play-in position to make the playoffs.
Yeah. How many weeks? How much time we got left?
Now, there is not many games left. Let's see. Games.
It can't be that many.
The last. Hold up. Let's go scrolling. Oh. The last games will be on April 12th. Will be the last games of the regular season.
Next week.
Next week.
Next
No.
weekend.
April 12th is.
Yeah, weekend.
Yeah, next weekend.
This weekend, following weekend.
Yeah. So
Weekend after Easter.
after that, they will start the play-in and then the playoffs.
Interesting. We'll see what happens when you get to the playoffs. That's when I start watching the NBA pretty much in the playoffs. I like to watch them then more than during the season, because during the season it's kind of like up and down. Everybody's up and down, up and down. You have some teams that are a lot better, of course, and some teams that are a lot worse, like the Pelicans, not doing too good. Hopefully next year they come back and do a lot better job than they did this year.
We got a new coach and everything.
If they
and the
stay
same
healthy, that
result.
would be the problem. If they can stay
Same
healthy, I
coach.
think they'd be all right.
Same coach,
Yeah,
same result.
I guess they're going to keep the same coach.
I mean, different coach, same result.
Yeah. Yeah, they just changed him last year, right? So
No, I think it's an interim coach this year. Let's see.
the Pelicans?
Pelicans coach.
No, I don't think so. I think they just hired him last year.
Yeah, James Borrego is the interim head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans.
So who they fired?
Having taken over after Willie Green was fired on November 15th.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember him getting fired. I remember that. Yep. So who they going to bring in?
I have no idea.
They got to find somebody. They need to find somebody. Change things around in the future. They're redoing that whole stadium. They're making it make it a lot nicer than what it is.
Oh.
They're redoing the whole Smoothie King deal. So that stadium's going to be a lot nicer. But you gotta win basketball games to get people to show up. That's the whole point. You got to get somebody to show up. Anyway, how about the UFC? What happened there this weekend? That was a couple of upsets. One for sure. One that you didn't like, I know. What was that?
The main event,
The main event.
Israel Adesanya got TKO'd by Joe Pyfer. Not really happy about that one, but we will move on, and he will continue to fight. And I like what he said. Wait.
One of them put his gloves in the ring.
Oh, yeah. Michael Chiesa he's now tied for first place with most rear naked choke finishes in the UFC history. And he announced what would be his retirement fight. And in 1 minute and 40 seconds, submitted the guy with a rear naked choke.
Yep, I saw it.
It was storybook ending.
Yep.
For
And
a
then he put his
historic
gloves.
career.
Then he put his glove in the ring, which means what?
Michael Chiesa. They also announced UFC legend 11 consecutive title defense, most ever, one of the most title defenses of all time, the first ever flyweight champion, one of the greatest pound for pound fighters in combat sports of all time. They have announced that Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson will be going into the UFC Hall of Fame. They announced it this weekend.
Where's that Hall of Fame at anyway? You know?
I have no idea.
I didn't know they had a Hall of Fame, but I guess they do. They've been fighting for like 20-something years, so I guess they do have a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So I want to say what Adesanya said.
But after his fight?
Yeah, he said something.
Okay, so while he's looking it up, that's what
Yeah,
we
look
do
it up.
here.
Look it up.
The Look It Up podcast. He's looking up something to make sure he's correct in what he's saying about what this guy said. Let's see if there's anything I missed. I don't think so. I think I covered everything. Like I said, next week we will do a mock draft. So if you're interested in what the Saints, not the Saints, the whole NFL, because we're doing a mock draft for more than likely the first 16 teams. We might do 20, depends on how much time we have. But we should be able to do 20. And what we'll do is 1 week, like Chael, you start off next week, you'll be the Raiders. I'll take the second pick and we'll go back and forth. Following week we'll swap out. I'll take the Raiders and you take the second team and we'll do that. So if you're interested, take a look at it. A lot of people interested in the draft. So make sure people know that we're doing this. Make sure they know we're live.
Okay.
We talk about sports, we talk about everything, and next week we'll start talking about the NFL draft.
So I found it. Also, I want to announce Israel Adesanya has the second most title fight wins in UFC middleweight history with 8, only behind Anderson Silva, the legend, with 11. But he said after DC asked him how do you feel or whatever, he's quote by quote said, "I am not effing leaving. I might get beaten, but I will always remain undefeated." In the mental.
Yep.
So, yeah. So,
Good fighter.
I don't want
Glad for him.
Izzy to go. He said he's not retiring anytime soon. Well, he is retiring soon, but he hasn't announced he is retiring. He said he's going to continue to fight.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about does it for us for today. We'll have fights this weekend, I assume. Saturday, right?
Yeah, Renato Moicano versus Duncan. But
That's early during the day.
I have no idea.
They're probably going to be early because they don't want to compete with the Final Four. The Final Four is that night. Both games are that night. So it might be during the day.
No, it's at night.
Is that night?
But it's on Paramount.
Okay. Well, you can watch 2 or 3 things at one time, right? So we always do. We always have something on the TV and something on the iPad and something on the phone. So we're watching different things. Anyway, Thanks for watching. Please let people know we're here. Where you find us at?
You can find us on YouTube under the Look It Up podcast and Facebook under his name, Tony Gudo.
Let people know we're here. We appreciate you watching. Next week we'll be doing the mock draft. Take care. See you next week.
Bye-bye. Go Tigers. Who dat? Bye-bye.